further ado, I'm going to give you my top 10 tips about how you can bag a classic flat for less.
Is here and now. My universe will never be the same. I'm glad you came.
Guys, welcome along to this week's video. Hope you've had the most amazing week. I'm Antonia from Timpanies. You can find out more about my store by clicking left up here. You can also shop our store up there, and you can also contact us and let us know if you want us to help you find a Chanel flat bag. Without further ado, I'm going to give you my top 10 tips about how you can bag a classic flat for less. As my dad would say, age is just a number, and he most certainly lives by that, and so do these amazing bags. This bag is in fact about 10 years old, and that's the wonderful thing about Chanel. So I would recommend, if you are looking to save some money on buying a classic bag, that you do actually opt for one that is slightly older. The current price for a Chanel jumbo flat bag is around £4,450, and as I said, we sold these for around £2,500, and they are 10 years old, but they look amazing. They're in absolutely mint condition, so you can really grab yourself a great saving. Now, bagging a Chanel bag for the best price is basically you against all the other thousands of people out there who are also looking for the same bag. So what you have to think is, what am I willing to compromise on? And if you're willing to compromise on things like dust bags, perhaps a box, then you are more likely to be able to pick up a bag for slightly less. And you can always get a certificate of authenticity from a third-party website. I'll flash a link up here. A lot of people can do research online and buy online. It's saturated full of buyers and sellers, but you need to take yourself out of that online market and actually build relationships with people that are selling these things. You want to be the first person in the know when these bags come in, and also you want to build a relationship so they give you the absolute best price that they can. You want them to do you a favor, and actually that's how these bags came in, because I was actually searching for a specific bag for someone within a specific price range, because they'd taken the trouble to contact me and build a relationship with me. So whilst it is easy to buy online these days, and you will most definitely pick up something, you won't get the best price possible. Like I've mentioned before, if you're willing to make certain sacrifices on what the bag comes with, then you are more likely to get it for less. And it's a similar principle to the amount of effort that you put in when purchasing a bag. So if you look online, you can often find quite damaged bags, which you might then be able to take to Chanel to get them restored. Now, I would recommend that you ask for really detailed photos if buying online. If you're buying in store, ask to take them, and actually send these to Chanel and ask them for an approximate cost, if they will. They often won't, or if they can indeed actually restore the bag, so you have an idea before actually taking the plunge and purchasing it. But you really will find some great buys if you're willing to put in that extra effort, because a lot of people won't be. Now, if you're thinking like some of these sound like a little bit too much effort, I totally understand. There is a really simple hack that some people get away with, and that is simply by putting a follow search on various pre-owned sites. So for example, eBay, on Chanel handbags. That's because there are some people in the world that own one of these beautiful things that actually cannot spell the brand name. So you might well be able to pick up an absolute steal. Now, the only thing I would make sure of is that you do get the bag authenticated, because there is also a way that some dishonest people try and feed fakes into the market. So make sure you do get it authenticated before you buy. Now, I've mentioned a little thing called effort before, and the next one is quite a lot of effort, but if you can get yourself to an auction house outside of London, and one that is quite far away, and also also one, if you can find one, that is not on the saleroom.com, because a lot of people from all around the world can now bid on there, which does push the prices higher. You are more likely to be able to pick up one for an absolute steal. There's a couple of things that I want to mention about buying at auction. Number one is, first and foremost, if you can get in the room, get in the room. Secondly, if you can't get in the room, be on the phone. I wouldn't personally bother leaving an online bid or leaving a bid at the auction house. I've done a lot of auctions and have never been successful bidding that way, unless it's something that's really completely random. And the final thing is, dress for the occasion. I know that if I look across and see someone that looks far better dressed than me or more wealthy, I mean, we do judge books by their covers sometimes, don't we? It does put me off a little bit, and I think, oh, she's going to outbid me anyway. So bid confidently and really look the part. As you might have noticed, it is all about sacrifice, extra effort, and really doing your due diligence. And one of the things that you can compromise on is actually the colour of the bag, because that does make a difference on price. And actually you could, if you do have your heart set on a black, you could also think about considering blue black. It's so dark you wouldn't really be able to tell. You are willing to compromise on colour. Even more than that, you can look at the seasonal styles that come in, and you're more than likely to be able to pick up one of those for a lot less. The next tip really is for those of you who are outside of England, because our pound at the moment is so weak that if you have got any trips planned over here, or you do have any friends traveling over here, especially from outside of the EU, you're going to find yourself a really, really great buy, even at new prices, because not only are you benefiting from a weak pound, but you can then claim back your 20% VAT. Now, patience and research are two things that are vital when it comes to picking up Chanel bags at the best price possible. Number one, it enables you to know when you actually have a bargain. If you know the current retail price, if you know the approximate resale price for a really good condition one on the market, then when a bag appears and you see a price, you'll know that it's a really great deal. So do make sure you've done your research. Now, patience is another thing. It is a matter of time. I have taken up to 6 months to find the perfect bag for someone, so do just hang on in there. And sometimes they don't come at a time which is most financially helpful, and all I would say about that is contact the seller and say, you know, I've been looking for this bag, I've been waiting for months, it's come up, would you so mind if I paid in 3 monthly installments? Personally, at Timpany's, we always do this for our clients because we know that they're big purchases, and actually it does help with the monthly finances just to spread that cost. Now, finally, and it is a little bit of a cheat because it's number 10 and it's a nice round number, and I wanted to do a number 10 point, and that is, again, focus on compromise. What are you willing to compromise in order to get the bag that you want? And I would suggest maybe it might be the size. So this is a jumbo, and the next size down, the medium, is £400 cheaper, and that's on a new bag. So I might challenge you to compromise on the size in order to make a saving. Guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to watch my video. Do comment below if you've got more tips to add for everybody else watching. I'm sure it'd be really helpful. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll be back same time next week. Bye!